Kismet teaches Xnet how to bark.
Come on, say with your chest.
يتحرج بكسره.
Yes, sir, sir. Yo, bark with your chest, bro. Like that.
There we go. It's crazy that Tej might start in Challengers this year, even though he's still the best S&D player in the league and had a better respawn season than the other CDL seasons in previous years. Tej actually had a great year. A good year. I mean, I think everything just kind of went south when they made their roster change, when they got rid of Vivid. So, I don't know. It's a tough one because everyone's just going to call me biased because obviously a close friend, my boy. What up, Smacks You? How are you, bro?
All right, guys. So today we're doing blind rankings.
I'm not watching his horse shit. Greatest one tricks in COD history. See, but I wasn't just a World War II one trick. That's such horse shit. Zinni had a trick. Look at this cock rider. If you're asked at COD, what do you think the biggest reason is? What up, Yixie? How are you, bro? King Cam, man, what's going on? Blast, M1. Happy Saturday. Happy weekend, folks. Hope you guys are having a good one. Hopefully we get some banger games tomorrow. I have gunning. My problem on COD is map awareness, reading spawns, positioning. I can win gunfights, but I get fucked in games like Hardpoint because I'm ass at knowing spawns, timings. I'm the opposite of this guy. I'm usually in the right spots and reading the spawns correctly, but then I destroyed by people even when I shoot first. What is this new watch streak thing? I don't know, but I kind of like it. I can see who's really loyal. What's the plan today? We're going to watch this Kason 2v2 tournament. He's late to his tournament, it seems. He's still driving, but hopefully it starts soon. I mean, I'm chilling anyway. Yeah, so what? We got 4 teams. Shotzi, Mason, Simp Draws, Scrap Hydra, Shifty Hisoka. What an absolute fumble to add Fringe to Black Ops 6 instead of Black Ops 7. Honestly, a fair point with the wall bounce. Honestly, might be facts. But yeah, I agree with this guy. The real fumble was not bringing back other Black Ops 4 maps in that game. Fringe isn't good. It wasn't good in Black Ops 6. Dude, what the hell? I like this. Current roster mania.
So, like, is it actually going to be SSG? Slasher?
Oh.
Renegade?
I was going to say, well, how am I hearing Tom? Wow, that's a pretty good graphic. Wealthy. King AK, what's up? Jocelyn, what's going on? Oh, yeah, I forgot Gentlemates hasn't even announced yet. I wonder what some of these teams are waiting for. I mean, at this point, I think you might as well wait till the game's about to drop and get some hype naturally around the new game. You know what I mean? Because right now, I don't think any announcements are going to get met with the hype that they could be met with if they're dropped at the right time, you know? Yeah, yeah. Did Carolina pick up Bound and Renegade?
SSG? So, like, is it actually going to be SSG, Slasher, Renegade, Bound, and Craze? Wait,
I think absolutely not.
that's not Is that rumored? Yeah.
See, I'm okay with plugging in one of these guys next to 3 COD players, but putting 2 Halo pros on a pro COD team immediately,
SSG's not confirmed.
That's a tall mountain to climb.
If that was the team, though, that would be insane. If that was the team, chat, wouldn't that be kind of crazy if they picked up Renegade and Bound?
See, the way I think, if I'm a bottom 4 team, technically, I'm just making sure I'm paying a ton of attention to challengers in the beginning of the game and looking at players like Bound, Renegade, whoever, right? Maybe Halo pros that transition, players that already have a spotlight. Dylan Cod, who's might be a little different because, visas. But I think if I was the GM of one of these bottom 4 teams, I'd be very quick to pull the trigger if I see someone like a Bound or Renegade frying in challengers before someone else goes and gets them. Last shot and cycle. Those guys are gross, huh? Yeah, Frosty doesn't want to play COD, I think.
Tony, I gotta ask you a question, Tony.
Don't ask away.
Tony, if I ask you a question,
Ask away.
I'm leaning towards
Tony, I'm looking at a roster here.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's actually not a roster. It's a rumored roster.
Okay.
What do you think about Slasher, Craze, Renegade, and Bound?
I already said earlier, nope, I would not put 2 Halo players on the same team. Nope.
Why? Why would you not do that?
Way too big of a risk, way too big of a catch-up. Tom, here's my alternative. Hear me and hear me clear.
Okay, I'm listening. Yeah,
I said if you want to put 1 Halo player on the team around 3 inherent COD guys, I'm all for it. But if I was the GM of a bottom 4 team, I would be looking at challengers, and I would be very quick to pull the trigger if one of those players is performing. Last shot, cycle, Renegade, Bound, Dylan Cod, maybe a little more difficult. Anybody that has a spotlight, whether it be in a different game or a previous COD title, if I'm a bottom 4 team, I'm pulling the trigger as fast as I possibly can before he gets picked up by somebody else. But I would not start with multiple Halo pros on the same team. I think that would just be a disaster for the beginning of the year.
So you would still take risk, but you wouldn't do 2 Halo guys?
Correct. I'm okay with a little bit of risk. I just think 2 guys is like, okay,
no,
now it's...
I feel like Carolina, you can take a big risk.
Yeah, no, literally.
I just
You
think...
can, Tony, you can.
The way I see it...
Why not
okay,
try
here's...
and sign players for the minimum and try and find like some just really good players without big names?
I'll tell you why. Because your odds of beating the top teams in the beginning of the year are way higher than later in the year. So if you're playing catch up in the beginning of the year when the top teams are most vulnerable, I think you're screwing yourself up.
Yeah, but you can still win. Like you can still win those games while taking a risk. Like you still win those games early. Like it's gonna be, even if you're taking a risk, what you just said is true, right? Like even if you pick up 3 Halo guys, right? Like that's the easiest time for them to actually probably win something is probably gonna be early in the game when everybody's fresh.
I think
Halo guys are a little bit different because they don't play COD. But no, Tony, 100%. If you take risk on like challenger players in the beginning of the game, it's gonna be easier for them to beat the top teams early than for the year to go as the year goes on and progresses. Because all the top teams are gonna keep getting better. They're gonna keep going higher, boom, 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 and then these other guys are gonna stay stagnant because they're just not good teams and they're not actually in good like systems and good environments.
See,
so
I think
they're gonna stay stagnant.
Okay, think about Shotzi. Shotzi struggled in the beginning of his Call of Duty career for a bit, right? You had to give him time. You said you almost took his spot.
Yeah, but you know why he struggled, though.
Tom, think of it like this. He was around better players. He was around literally the GOATs of Call of Duty at that time. And he had 1 year of Call of Duty grind time before that. These guys are about to go directly from Halo Worlds into CDL games in less than a month and a half. I think if you're going to take a risk, you can do 1 player max, surround him by 3 COD guys. That way that guy can play catch up as much as possible. If you pick up 2 guys, the team's all out of whack. I don't give a fuck if it's the beginning of the year. You're not beating Thieves or Optic with 2 Halo guys in the beginning of the year.
You can't disagree with that. Yeah, because they're not going to be playing the game early when it first drops. What's the Halo schedule goes into the COD release, right?
No, the Halo ends October 26th. Next week's the final tournament.
Oh, okay. So then they're not really behind.
I mean, they're going to have 2 weeks of wagers or chows, whatever. And then the rumor is the league starts beginning of December, early December, mid-December.
But like, here's the thing. It's new maps. It's new everything. Like, I just don't like. Everybody's kind of starting at square one. Like if a Halo Pro is actually like good and like is smart and like actually learns how to play the game quickly and like it's just grinding. Like, bro, they definitely can be good like early.
Which is why 100%. I would pick them up from challengers pronto. I would basically have those guys on like an accelerated. Think of like the MLB minor leagues. I would start them in AAA. Like those guys are like they're not going A, AA, AAA majors. They're basically AAA, And as
Yeah.
soon as you see promise, you pick him up quick. Is the
Yeah.
way I view it.
But you could say that about just like challengers in general, right? Like if anybody's showing promise in challengers,
Yeah, I agree with
early,
that.
like you could pick them up quick.
I agree
Like
with
you
that.
could say that about challengers in general. And Tony, let's be honest, from the history of the last few years, people don't do that. Like there's been scenarios where people from challengers are getting picked up.
You want to know
But I'm
why?
saying it doesn't happen as much as it should be happening.
You want to know a little back end information?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Some of these orgs don't want to pay the cost it takes to drop a player, so it stops them from making roster changes.
Wait, they don't want to pay the cost of dropping a player? What do you mean the cost
Yes.
of dropping a player?
Because
Like,
some
what
of
do
the
you mean?
players have to get paid out like 2 months' salary after they get dropped, for example.
Okay.
So they'd rather the team keep playing with their already existent roster than deal with paying a player that they're dropping months of pay and picking up a new player.
I'm going to be honest. Like, one, that's pathetic if that's what's actually
Trust me,
happening.
don't get me started, bro. It's fucking disgusting
two,
how
if-
some
if-
orgs do not care. Go ahead.
And two, if that was a concern to them, Tony, they can change contracts, right? Like instead of giving them 2 months pay, give them 2 weeks pay, right? Boom. If you get dropped, you get 2 weeks pay, but then boom, you're done, right? Like they're still gonna sign it anyway. These players don't have a choice, especially if they have nowhere to go, right? And there's only one. Say there's only one team left, right? Every team's signed. The only team left is Carolina.
I agree.
Right? Nobody's getting more than a minimum on that team. There's literally no reason to, unless people are like actually declining that. But who's gonna decline that? They can't go anywhere.
No
There's
one's
other
declining
teams
it.
to go to. Nobody's declining that. Like everybody's.
I said this. Here's the only
those teams,
leverage
by the
you
way-
have. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was gonna say those teams, by the way, like Carolina, like because there was always rumors of who was that one player, Mohawk. Remember Mohawk got an offer from like a shit team and he
He
declined
said
it.
no.
because
Yep.
He said no.
And
That
now
is
look.
like the dumbest thing you can do because bro, the one thing you need as a challengers player is a chance, a shot. Go to that shit team, show why you're that guy. Whether you're on a shit team or not, you should be able to show people like you can like hang and like keep up, and solidify yourself on that team. And then at the end of the year or when your contract is up, because it's not going to be a crazy contract, it's probably just going to be, especially if you're a challenger player getting picked up, you're probably getting a minimum up until the end of the season. And at the end of the season, you're a free agent, most likely. Right?
Well, that's
what
the
they
only
should be
thing.
signing.
I mean, the issue is like, okay, my assumption with Mohawk, Illy got offered, I believe it was Paris or something. I remember him talking about that. The issue is, I think a lot of players who consider themselves like, I don't know, of the upper echelon of challengers, they don't want to sign a multiple year minimum deal. But that's just the reality. If you have one offer, you don't really have a choice. Like this year, for example, like let's use Craze or Mamba. I'm assuming these guys had multiple offers. At least I hope. So if I'm Mamba and I have 3 or 2 bottom tier offers for the same pay, I'm saying I'll sign a 1 year deal, and a 1 year deal only. And whichever team offers me that 1 year deal, I'm assuming both would try to match it. I'm doing whatever I can if I have high stock to sign a 1 year deal.
Yeah.
That only works if you have stock.
agree,
If you
I agree.
have multiple offers, that's the only way it's going to work. If you're someone who's right now trying to get the 3rd or 4th spot on Carolina, because I'm assuming it's Slasher Craze, you don't have a choice. Carolina can.
Here's the thing, though, Tony. I actually do think organizations are smart, and bro, they take advantage of people if they're picking people up from challenges. I actually do believe that they can.
And
do
they
that,
should.
Right? I mean, they should try, but I think it's just up to those players getting picked up to just be smart, right? Like, read what you sign. Like, don't just get excited and just sign shit. Like, read it and make sure, like, you're actually signing a proper contract that doesn't put you in like such a shit spot. Because bro, there's probably a lot of players who just contract-wise are just sitting in such bad spots because they just, they
Hold on,
didn't
Trizzy
read
and
their
you're sad
shit.
they should. So let me explain. Okay, here's the way I think of it.
Trizzy, let me explain it in one line. It's business, right?
Exactly.
That's just business, bro.
Let me tell
That's
you
just
to you like
business.
this.
You got to make sure they're reading the contract, bro, because I will say, is it like good business? No, it's probably bad business if they know what they're doing, right?
I
They
think
don't
it's
have
great
good
business.
intentions.
It's great for the business, kind of bad for the player. But here's the reality: if I'm working on a lower budget, I'm trying to get the most bang for my buck. So if I can get a top challenger player on a 2-year minimum deal, I'm gonna do that. But if he super performs year 1, I want to make sure he can't just walk away, and then maybe I'll offer him a better 1+1 contract. Let's say, let me give you Craze as an example. Let's say I sign Craze for 2 years for $50K. He has a phenomenal year 1. I know he's going to walk after year 2. I'll bump him to $100K on his 2nd year to get him to sign the 3rd year. Make sense?
Yeah, which is common. That's common. Like bumping pay in years is a very common thing across the board. I know for a fact. Even though I got skumazed with that when the CDL first started and I went to New York, my second year I went down. My second year, and my agent at the time, not Shibby. This is what ended up. I ended up. For those of you that don't know, I actually fired my agent, and then that's when I started working with Shibby. And then the rest is history. I mean, that's Shibby. I should have been working with Shibby from day one, but Shibby wasn't at the agency at the time. Shibby was doing other stuff. But once I started working with Shibby, it was a lot different. But my agent told me at the time with subliners, and I forget his name, bro. He said that it was common for your second year to go down. Like, that's what he was trying to explain to me. And I was like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
I mean, it only makes sense if your first year is severely front-loaded. So I guess I'll give you an example. Let's say you signed a $600K 2-year deal, and it was $400 year 1, $200 year 2.
Yeah.
Like, I guess that kind of makes sense if they just wanted to
but
get
but it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that because from my knowledge, everybody else's was going up. Right, so like I was like an anomaly. I was an anomaly at the time. Come to find out, my agent at the time was talking to the New York guys, like he was like almost like negotiating for them, and like negotiating for me.
Yeah, you had who is this shady bastard? What's his name? Who's this shady bastard?
I forget his fucking name. I forget his name. He was. It almost felt like he was negotiating for them. Then for me, like it almost like after I signed and everything, I started putting 2 and 2 together. I'm like,
maybe he was safe. He wanted the guaranteed money, so he didn't want to piss off New York. So he was just trying to get a team-friendly deal and a player-friendly deal.
I think he was boys with New York ownership. Like I think they knew each other. Like I think they're like
no way.
Like I think they actually like knew each other and they did good business together. They shook hands in the past. Like they knew each other. Like these guys knew each other. You know what I'm saying? So then after that, like it opened my eyes to like, yo, you can't have an agent unless you absolutely trust your agent, right? Like you have to trust your agent, what he's doing. That's why I ended up going with Shibby and Connor and WME because, bro, you know how those guys are, Tony. Like those guys are like brothers, you know what I mean? Like those guys won't backstab me or like do no weird. Like they'll always like get what's best for me, right? Like it won't be the other way around. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to be careful, bro. You got to be careful in business, chat. You got to be careful because people are going to try and fucking skumaz you. You know what I'm saying? So I got financial advisor Ben. He's a good guy. You know, I'm not talking about Ben J. Nassim. You know, if Ben J. Nassim, can you imagine if Ben J. Nassim was looking over your finances, Tony?
Well, Tom, I think you're overpaid, so I'm going to try to get 30% off this deal. You know?
Hey, you're an idiot. Wait, go to Case on stream.
Yeah, I'm here, yeah.